claro, de educarnos un poquito más, ¿no? Y sobre todo con experiencia de una CEO que está liderando en este caso a cientos de mujeres en los Estados Unidos para llevar sus compañías al próximo nivel. Así que hay oportunidad de aprender muchísimo con ella. Recuerden siempre, tenemos el chat, el área del chat para hacer preguntas. Heather, how are you?
Good morning.
Hi, Heather. Good
morning. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to have you here. And I think it's time to start. And so if you allow me, I will introduce Heather to all our audience.
Thank you.
And just to let you know that we are doing streaming through YouTube and Facebook. So a lot of people is watching you right now.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Over to you, Veronica.
Thank you. Okay, well, let me tell you that Heather founded his first entrepreneurial venture in less than 18 months and reached $1 million in revenue. So Heather attributes her success to her background of over 20 plus years working in professional sales and marketing with disruptive and innovative technologies. Entrepreneurship gave her freedom to create, freedom to sell her time, freedom to work on all levels and live a most bountiful life in every way. So Heather is one of Canada's leading warriors for women equality through entrepreneurship. And her mission is to have 10,000 women realizing their inner dreams to be an accomplished woman entrepreneur with a sustainable and successful economic model. So welcome. I'm really happy to have you here and you're able to start. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. And thank you to all of our guests who've joined us here today. I'm sure you've had an amazing experience over the past couple of days. And it's my pleasure to share some thinking with you and some insights and some inspiration. So thank you for the opportunity. So as Veronica says, I run a business accelerator for women in Canada. And I saw that many women were wanting to be and jumping into becoming entrepreneurs. However, most of them were not many of them were failing in their business, going out of business, and many were not able to scale their business. Absolutely nothing to do it's with them at all. I do not believe it's about confidence. I believe women have all kinds of confidence. I believe they're incredible, rational risk takers. And so I believe that we didn't have the systems in place to really help facilitate the growth and the desire of you amazing women in business. So with that context, I thought, wouldn't it be fun if we put a business accelerator together and we had a group of significant numbers of women that are and reaching 1 million in revenue. And I picked 1 million in revenue because your business has a level of sustainability when you reach 1 million in revenue. And it's a fun journey getting there. And every single one of you can get there if you have that desire. And I'm not saying you have to have that desire, but why not build that opportunity in for your business? So as I go along, I want to set a context. I have personally met with over 4,000 women-owned businesses, and many of them, the majority say, what if I fail? And I say, what if you fly? And I think that's one of the reasons the mindset, certainly of women in Canada, is a scare, a fear that is pervasive and profound, and then potentially stopping the success. It's not about falling. It's not about fearing that. It's about what if I fly? Because you will and you can. And to me, that's the only way to think about your business is about flying. So this is just simply a slide that I know you'll get after, and it gives some of our favorite TED Talks. We find that entrepreneur goes up and down. in terms of your emotions. And so we like to always feed you some inspiration to help you get back up, because it's a roller coaster for sure. So we said, okay, there's 2 communities around the world that are marginalized. They're women and children. Canada is thought to be a progressive feminist economy, and we have a lot of work to do here. So if we can help Canada become more of a leader in this, then we can be a role model for our sisters, entrepreneurial women around the world. There's been reports in Canada saying we need 180 years until equality is going to come to Canada. And we say, we don't have time for that. No time. Time's up. That's ridiculous. We're taking the reins ourselves and going to drive equality through being entrepreneurs. So we'll give you, so the current state in Canada, less than 1% of women ever reach $1 million in revenue. 84% of women go out of business. Women start businesses generally for different reasons than men do. And they start them usually because they see a problem, they want to change something, they're very innovative, very disruptive. And also they're opting out of the corporate world because it doesn't match with their lifestyles, their desire, and their purpose. Most successful women in business in Canada do have a business-to-business model, meaning that they come and they sell to the corporate world, sell to businesses. Many women do not see their own potential. There's lots of reasons for that. First and foremost, I believe because there's many forces in society that do not enable that, do not strengthen that. And lastly, most women have a real stigma around sales, and understanding that as an entrepreneur, your number one job is to go to market and drive revenue and acquire customers. And yet that's an area that many women are simply lacking experience, understanding, and skills, have stigmas around, and can prevent their growth in their revenue in those first critical years. So we think, why do they make excellent entrepreneurs? Because they're so creative. They're just infused with energy of creative activity. They want to continuously learn, sometimes keep learning, and I have to encourage them to go out and do. They're very community driven, meaning collaborative, really enjoy working in social, collaborative settings with one another. They generally have business for good values. They want to change the world by doing a business that does good. It's not profit at all cost for 99% of the women. Profit's important. However, the community is important. Their employees are important. Their lifestyles are important. And their give back overall, their purpose and productivity is important. And lastly, they really are innovation engines without realizing it. And innovation often is associated with technology. Yes, technology plays a great role. However, there's so much more to innovation than technology. So we say the entrepreneur is like an artist because you are creative. You're constantly coming up with different ways, with new ideas. You have to be original. You want to be original. You have this incredible energy because if you've got an idea. So our message to you is find the problem, own the problem, explore alternatives to solve the problem. And if you feel it's a problem, it's a problem. Don't listen to people that tell you, oh, who are you to think about that? What can you do about that? You have to push all of that away. Entrepreneur certainly builds up your resilience about bringing in external thinking that often can deplete your energy and make you question yourself. So stay original, keep original, and pull in as much creativity. Use your creativity constantly as being an entrepreneur. So you are like an artist. You are bringing to life something that's very different. And of course, you're going to get people that say, I don't understand. I don't think there's a need. That's fine. That's not their business to do that. It's yours. Yours is to bring your creative ideas to the business world and let them unfold in terms of the products, services, and solutions. So an entrepreneur usually is about heart. If your heart's not in it, you often won't stay in it. Because again, it is an incredible journey of resilience, moving forward, being constantly positive, finding optimism in times when can be really tough. But if your heart's there, you'll always get up in the morning and go and do it. You know what you want, you go after it and put your heart in it. You get single-minded and determined, and you will not fail. You may not do it in a way that you thought you would, but if your commitment is there, you will always find a way with your creativity and your heart in that business commitment. So that's just going on a bit about being an artist. And we always, often entrepreneurs do not see themselves as artists, and you are artists because of your creativity. You're also like a scientist. Everything you do as a startup is what? An experiment. You have a hypothesis. You see a problem and you have a hypothesis and say, well, perhaps this is my problem and my hypothesis is this is how I can solve it. And then you go about solving that problem just like Einstein, just like a scientist. Testing your hypothesis is what you bring to the business world. And it's yours, uniquely yours. You look at your startup like a scientist experiment. And often in the first 2-3 years, you are testing. I can certainly tell you from many years of sharing with women and doing it myself, what I started to come to market with needs to get revised, redefined, reimagined as I go along, because we learn. The market that we work with tells us what they need, gives us areas of focus. We better understand their needs. And through that process, we build a better business. So we all are scientists in addition to being artists. And then one of my favorites is like Alice in Wonderland. And Alice in Wonderland, to me, reflects life in overall, and certainly life as an entrepreneur. Alice went down a rabbit hole. Alice didn't know how to hang on. Alice was just hanging on however she could. And that is often how you begin your entrepreneurial journey. You have an idea, you go test it, and you are hanging on. And you're swirling around, shifting, you're not sure, but you're collecting knowledge and insight every step of the way. Alice believed in the impossible. She believed in her Alice in Wonderland story that everyone needs to do 6 impossible things before breakfast. And people will tell you, you are crazy, you are mad, you are foolish. And that is going to build up your resistance and your determination even more. So many, many people, you will have mad hatters in your life. That's okay. They're not there to understand. They don't have your passion. They don't have your commitment. They don't understand. That's all. Doesn't mean that you are off track in any way. In fact, you are going after the impossible. So lesson 1, this way, that way. If you don't have a plan, you will go potentially the wrong way. It's really, really important to start out your entrepreneurial journey with a strategy based on your hypothesis. And then you can test it and manage and monitor as you go along. Then Alice goes down, right? And through her journey, things pop up and say, eat me, drink me. And what does she do? She eats them and she drinks them. So that is a testament to, even when you don't go, you're not sure, continue to take in, say yes, try things. You're constantly developing not only your business, but yourself every step of the way by saying yes. Even though you may not know at times why, but you do it, it's presented to you, you will figure it out. Alice is always looking and finding another way. Doors will close, windows will close. Lots of things will feel like they're closing in on you. And with your heart and your relentless commitment, you will always find another way. And coming with that is where your creativity, entrepreneurship is not about having money to start a business as much as it is about having creativity to infuse in your business, because you will be constantly challenged with that other way. If this isn't working, try something else. Never, ever, ever give up. If it is something you are truly committed to, there will always be another way for you to figure it out. And frankly, when you find that other way, you're able to look back and think, oh my goodness, I never would have imagined if I did not encounter those blocks along the way to help me find that other way. Lesson 4, you're late for a very important date. So there is a sense of urgency to being an entrepreneur. And with a sense of urgency, it's very helpful to really manage your time. You can get very distracted. Any one of us can. However, if you manage your time, have your priorities, have your strategy, you get really, really focused. To me, it's not about working 12 crazy hours every day. It's about understanding your strategy and getting leverage in that so that everything works in conjunction. Your focus is precise. And then with that laser-like focus, you can't help but see the incredible productivity that will bring you, as opposed to feeling you're running all over, never sure of what direction to go to. That's, again, we've talked about that. Your creativity, it is the backbone of being an entrepreneur. Knowing how creative you are and bringing that out to the table every single step of the way. It's your creativity that will get through all of those tough times. And I'm possible is one of my favorite. Impossible is I'm possible. I am always possible to work and find another solution. Always, always, always. Working with my group, my peers, my colleagues, my clients, my support network, there's always another way. So just in moving along, there is a myth, certainly with our businesses, that I need money. Yes, we all need money to pay our bills, to have some level of funding. However, your ultimate funding comes from where? It comes from getting a client and having a sell to a client. When you sell your product, service, solution to a client, that means somebody's willing to pay for you. That means your market is validating you. That means you can start learning from your market. The more you can sell, the more you can learn. And the better you can get, because it is that collaboration that you work with your clients that is going to make you $1 million business. Listening to what they need, putting together what you think will help that need, and learning that constantly over and over. The more clients you have to learn that process with, the faster you'll be able to bring your business into a state of sustainability and resilience. Sales is everything, and it is not everything because of just money. It is because of the learnings that will give you in the very beginning stages that are critical. And we say again, your job is to put your product into a customer's hand. That's your job. It's not to sell to friends and family. It's not to sell to people that you know. It's to go and sell to a market that you have a hypothesis about. You put products together and you're serving them solutions. In order to do that, they recognize that by paying you money for your solutions. That is your job as an entrepreneur. That is the only job you have in the first initial stages in terms of getting to market. Of course, equally as important is to bring your solutions with integrity to market and high quality. But before you can do that, you have to get to market. So that is your job, with precision, with focus, to get to market and find your first customers. This is just a graph that states that in a different way. Often in Canada, we have so many questions about, is there funding available? Are there grants available around money? And then we say, well, sure, there is some. However, in our opinion, Steve Jobs didn't start Apple with a grant. Bill Gates, they started in a garage. They started by going and getting a client. And again, your client doing that approach will start your revenue streams, which are critical, and most importantly, start your learning. You need to start creating with your clients and learning as soon as possible and taking that in and accelerating that and then putting that out to revise your products and services. That's what an entrepreneurial process and the journey is all about in the initial stages. So we say, how do you overcome funding? You embrace selling. Selling is leadership. Selling is leading your creativity, leading your hypothesis, leading it to your precise strategy, connecting with a market that needs you, working with that, helping that market understand what it is that you have. They pay for it, and you go over and over and over again. So we often ask, after we share this thinking with many of the ladies, how do you feel when you get a sale? How do you feel? Absolutely fantastic. You feel fantastic because you're validated. A market needs you. If you don't feel good when you get a sale, I would suggest you don't want to be an entrepreneur. That is the juice that feeds you. And again, not just for your money. It feeds you intellectually. It feeds your passion. It feeds your soul. It feeds you. That is what you do, is to engage with the market. If you're not happy, don't do it. Nothing is worth that. Nothing. Your happiness is everything, and that will feed you even more. So some advice we just strongly suggest: forget everything. If you have stigmas around sales, forget them. Learn about professional selling from a trusted organization, person. If you don't like selling, recognize that. However, if you love the feeling of when you do have a sale, understand you are an entrepreneur. Get yourself the right support structures, get around the right people who are going to help you really understand what sales process is, sales procedures are, really how to go in and go after your market, learn from your market, and get the most revenue that you deserve from your market and what you're worth. So don't listen to anybody. Find your trail, get around the right supports, and make a sale. An entrepreneur, generally what they do, they don't wait for anything. They go ahead, they take the risk, they leap, and then the net appears. So I hope we've left you with some insights around how to think about your entry into the market and then how to scale that scale your products and services in the market. And we want to encourage you in every single way we can. We're here to help all women that want to commit and are committed to their entrepreneurial journey in every way we can. And it takes all of us working together and sharing and supporting. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Actually, thank you, Heather. Thank you for your presentation. You know, I was listening and I liked so much the way how you presented. I like the fact that you mentioned Alice is an entrepreneur. I like that. I like your 5 lessons, you know, and I agree with you. Is creativity. Always there is another way how to make things happen. And of course, happiness. It's all about happiness. You know, you have to be happy and realize that all the things that you do bring happiness to your life. So no, I'm 100% with you. I like it very much. I see Jose Carrion from Miami saying excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Definitely, thank you so much. Actually, I'm sure. Let's see if there is anybody. We have actually several women owners in this interactive fair. I see Heidi. I see Fernanda. So if there any question, actually the consulate in Canada, loved it as well. So great.
Okay,
So,
thank you very much. Thank you. It's a pleasure, and I wish you all the very best along your journey. And please feel free to reach out to us anytime.
thank you, Heather. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So now, oh, hold on just a sec. Just give me 1 second, please. So I'm going to change the background from Heather's presentation, that it was great. Move to million because you can. I like it very much. So I'm going to move and change the presentation from the background and add the presentation from the city of Hamilton. Hold on just a second, I'm working on it. Let's see. All right, Hamilton City. Let's see, Hamilton City. The presentation is right here. Okay. I'm uploading the file as we speak. So in the next 30 seconds, everybody will be able to see the presentation for the city of Hamilton. Okay. Hold on just a second. We have more people coming in. I see Gonzalo. Gonzalo, welcome. Well, I'm actually it's 9:28 a.m. in Peru. We are about to change the presentation from Heather, from Women on the Move, to the city of Hamilton. Apparently, the city of Hamilton was having some issues connecting from they were connecting from Toronto, but something is happening at the library. They couldn't connect. I believe they are using all computers. That's another thing that we have to make sure that everybody, is using actually the right computers. Remember, this is the future. What we're doing now is the future. So we have to make sure that we have the right equipment. I'm talking about the devices, your laptop, your computer, your Mac. It's also about connectivity. We have to make sure that we have the right connectivity here so we can connect not only within the country, but internationally. So those are, a few tips that we are all learning about how to do business in the digital era. It's all about equipment. It's all about connectivity. And of course, we have to be always, ready. I have added the presentation of the city of Hamilton in the background. We're calling right now the speaker, actually Debbie Spence. I believe Debbie is connected, but is trying to connect from the library in Canada, but she's having some issues. So just give me, please, everybody hold on just there 30 seconds. I'll be back because I want to make a phone call to Canada just to make sure that they can connect with no problem. Please, 30 seconds, and I'll be back. Hello, everybody. I'm back. Veronica, hello. How are you?
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened here, but I'm back. I don't know. I can only see you, Enrique. I don't know if
Yeah, apparently Debbie is trying to connect,
with
but she can't.
us.
So I don't know, something is happening. I saw that. Uh, so I just kicked out actually Debbie. Unfortunately, she's causing some interferences here. Can you hear me now, Veronica? Hello, everybody. I'm back. Hey, Veronica, how are you? Can you hear me now? Yes, somehow I can hear you, but you sound a little far. No, I can see you, but I cannot hear you completely well. Well, I was saying that actually Debbie from the Zero Hamilton, Debbie Spence, she's the business development consultant in the creative industries. Unfortunately, she's having some actually issues with her computer in Canada. She was actually going to talk about, where is Hamilton? In Ontario, introduce Hamilton as a city. Uh, if everybody can rearrange their videos, just click in the rearrange icon at the header, you will be able to, free up the presentation. So you can actually download the presentation and see, all these about Hamilton. Hamilton, I can see where is the labor market axis. I see why Hamilton is the 10th largest regional economy in Canada. That's tremendous. Some statistic about Canada is the third largest projected GDP growth of large CMAs in Canada, which is great. With the lowest, Hamilton has the lowest unemployment rate in Ontario, 3.9%. So apparently it's a city that is always on the move. It's the third top city for youth to work in Canada in 2019. So a lot of young people is living and working there, which is great, and has a lot of diversity. I can see has like economic, apparently. Hey, Veronica, how are you? Well, Veronica is trying to connect. Apparently, she's having.
Enrique, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but very far away. Very far away. I was explaining a little bit to the audience about some, Hamilton facts. I was going through the presentation. We know that Debbie from the city of Hamilton haven't been able to connect. So I was showing to the audience, some facts about Hamilton City in Toronto.
Yes.
I see, for example, that is the third best city to find a job in Canada, Hamilton, which is great. It has the largest overnight express cargo airports in Canada. Is the Hamilton International Airport. That's also a very good actually sign. Yep. Veronica, apparently your internet connection is not good and nobody can hear you. the consulate is talking about St. Louis being Hamilton. So Hamilton is also has the largest seaport in Ontario, number one, which is also very good. Another good number is increase to the number of business operating in Hamilton since 2015. So the number, apparently Hamilton is one of a great cities. Why to work there? Why to live there? I can see also another fact is the busiest of all Canadian Great Lake ports. So there is a lot of activity in the lake. Was number one Port of Hamilton in 2019, meaning last year. If we go through, if we talk about the food industry has the fastest growing restaurant cities in the US and Canada. Wow, that's really good. Hey, Veronica, can you hear me now? I was saying that according to Chef Hero, Hamilton is number one, is the fastest growing restaurant city in the US and Canada. That's a great number. Also has the fastest growing airports in North America, the Hamilton International Airport.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but your voice sounds a little far away. Can you switch networks or because
I already did.
Your connection is a bit low. I was just commenting on a few facts about Hamilton. No, for example, Hamilton has the largest. Yeah, but it's still we can hear you. Oh, you can hear Veronica. Okay. Okay, go ahead, Veronica.
I'm
Hey, Heidi.
connect you over the phone, okay?
Okay. All right, Veronica, if you can please. Yeah, I'm actually receiving some messages through the WhatsApp. Apparently, Veronica is having some internet issues. If you can hear me well, please send me a text message through the chat because from here I can see and it feels like everything is good. But please, everybody who is listening this, okay. Thank you so much, Heidi. Thank you. I see that you're listening. Okay. All right. Well, basically, we were going through the.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
Can you hear Veronica? Yeah, they cannot hear you, Veronica. The consulate, yes, but in Peru we cannot. So this is some of the issues that we have. We're identifying when we're doing this international actually first connectivity. Okay, Veronica is going to refresh herself. So let's see. Myself, actually, I'm going to refresh as well. All right, I'm back. I'm back. We were talking about why Hamilton is a really good city, to live and work there. Has like great comments for the fastest growing restaurants. Is really good in airports in North America. Is great for startups. Has the largest number of startups companies by city. You know. Also, according to this Site Location magazine, they're talking about top 10 investment locations. So if we go to the number, 10th of the slides, we can see, great city, the Hammer. Hey, Veronica.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Hold on a second, please. Enrique, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, yes.
Okay, I'm going to try to connect Debbie over the phone. So if you can start with her presentation again, let us try if you can hear her, okay? Okay, Debbie, could you please start talking?
Yep, I'm here. So I'm not able to in the video part just because it has kind of kicked me out, and then I'm just on a screen which just says.
Okay, Debbie, right now everybody's listening to you and we have your presentation so you can get started.
Okay, so I can kind of do it blind. So the first slide, so I guess if everyone can kind of click through on, I guess, their own pace, I can't drive it on this end, but so thank you everyone for the presentation and listening in. So we want to talk about Hamilton, Ontario in Canada, and we're going to talk about the creative industry sector. I oversee creative industries, which includes a bunch of different areas. I'll get into that in a slide further along. And then Carolyn, not able to be here today, but she deals with digital for media in particular, which is a subsector of the creative industry. So I'll just pop into the first slide is just talking about to kind of position everyone of where is Hamilton in terms of North America and the U.S. So we're pretty close to the U.S. border, and so we're kind of near Michigan, Quebec area. And then if you look at slide 3, we're talking about the fact that Hamilton has a prime location. So we are located very close to Toronto, about a 60-minute drive. And then there's something called a technology corridor. You'll see on the map it says Waterloo. So we're quite close to that as well. And then we're close to the U.S. border. Buffalo is one of the closest U.S. Cities, and that's about a 90-minute drive along. Then you go into the next slide about the labor market access. So we're located in a really densely populated corridor, and it's got a lot of economic activity. We're the 9th largest region of economy in Canada, and we're the 5th largest region in North America. And then, so we're about a 30-minute commute to a lot of different labor forces that are very highly skilled, well educated, and it's about 2 million is the labor force from that perspective. So now I'm on slide 10, and 10 on slide 5, that just talks about that Hamilton in terms of some of the fast facts. So we're the 10th largest regional economy in Canada. Great news. A lot of people, when they describe Hamilton, they talk about us as a large city, but with a small town feel. And also, when you take a look at from a quality of life and also from a labor force and an employer standpoint, it's pretty easy to get around Hamilton. There's not that much traffic, and then you kind of get from one end to the other, usually in about 30 minutes or so. We're made up of rural and urban area. Then I'll just kind of touch upon these things. There's just some highlights on slide 6, which is we're talking about based on other magazines or research organizations have kind of ranked us in terms of we're the third largest projected growth in terms of some of the large cities in Canada. And we've got the second lowest unemployment rate in Ontario, which is excellent. And then it's a top city in terms of youth. We've got quite a lot of millennials to the city. And one thing that we talk about is we have a very diverse economy. So we've got a wide variety of different types of businesses. And the score that it refers to is like a 0.95 in terms of the diversity of the type of businesses that are located in Hamilton. So slide 7, again, some of the stuff around the best city to find a job that really matches about the unemployment rate. Then we've got express cargo and hubs. We're multi-city. We'll talk about that in a bit. And we've got the largest seaport in Ontario. And then talking about the number of operating businesses that have been here since 2015. So that's the number 939. So now I am on slide 8, and we're talking about a number of different things. So this fact here, kind of interesting in terms of the second one, we're the fastest growing restaurant cities in the U.S. and Canada. So if you go on to do a Google search, or you could go onto our tourism website, you find a lot of information about all the restaurants and the diversity of the restaurants that have come to Hamilton. They're very creative in terms of their backgrounds and from a bunch of different cultures. So it's really nice. That draws in a lot of tourists, but also is really popular for people that work in Hamilton. They were the fastest growing airports in North America. And then the last one is about the fourth. We're fourth in terms of the number of startup 50 in terms of the perspective. Slide 9. So one of the magazines that perhaps people on the call may follow is the Site Selection magazine. So Site Selection is quite popular in the U.S. And Hamilton has a top 10 investment in terms of a location for that. Slide 10, you'll see there's a map with what we call a heat map. And this has information about our building permit values. And you can see these being quite consistent and quite high in terms of the building permit values. It really demonstrates the consistent growth that Hamilton has been seeing, I would say, over the last 3 to 5 years. We've been able to maintain that and across the city, not just in one area of Hamilton. I mentioned earlier just about the fact that Hamilton is a multimodal city. So we have access to a number of highways. Then we have rail, airport, and then we mentioned in terms of the port, we've got a large cargo and passenger airport as well. So kind of drilling into probably what people are interested in is about the different industries. And so Hamilton, we have 8 different sectors that we focus on. The one that I'm going to talk about obviously today is about the creative industries. And so now I'm on slide 13, which has the heading of defining creative industries. And so this is a sector that I oversee, and you'll see the images of the 6 different subsectors. So within creative industries, we look at fashion, music, film, written and published work, live performance, and visual and applied art. And we just did what's called a sector profile, which is really just a big research project that gathered information from Canada about the number of businesses and the labor force and some of the trends in terms of specifically for Hamilton. And fashion came up as one of the top 3 in terms of the subsectors for creative industries. So on slide 14, we call it our snapshot. And so this really talks about the businesses and the labor force. So you can see some of the icons there. And so these are, again, coming from our stats. about 11% of Hamilton's total labor force works in the creative industries. They're very highly educated, tend to be younger, and they tend to be self-employed within this sector. We talked about the median income is about $36,000, which is higher than the national average of $34,000. We are experiencing, like other, cities in Ontario and probably across Canada, a shortage of skilled labor, particularly in fashion and in film. 64% is the number of, or percentages of sole proprietors. That means companies that have 1 to 4 employees, so a pretty large percentage in terms of creative industries resides in that area. 6% of Hamilton businesses fall within the creative industries. And then you can take a look at the bottom. It talks about 16% in terms of is the employment growth, which is quite healthy, and is actually better than some of our other sectors in Hamilton. And then the last icon talks about cross-sector collaboration. So within creative industries, fashion obviously being one of those, there's a lot of interest and a lot of activity that takes place with regard to people and businesses wanting to work together and to collaborate. We've a lot of interest within film and fashion. Film in Hamilton is obviously definitely an opportunity for the fashion industry and the fashion sector. We're the second busiest in Ontario for film permits, and film does fall into one of the top areas of growth for Hamilton as well. Fashion, this slide is just talking a little bit about and has some images for slide 15 regarding what's kind of been happening in Hamilton. We've got not only fashion designers, but we also have businesses that are to actually produce or manufacture, and then we have some that is more kind of what we call a little bit of kind of the hobbyist, which they're teaching for people who are interested in making their own clothes. And then we're on to slide 16. So these are the actual fashion industry stats. So the total employment in Hamilton in terms of the fashion industry is 7,540. We have 521 is the number of businesses. And then comparatively, when we look at other cities across Canada, Hamilton ranks top 3 as a destination for fashion-related occupations. And we're the 5th largest cluster in Canada for fashion businesses. Now we're on slide 17. We're talking more so about the digital media sector. So this is the one that Carolyn oversees, but this is kind of a deeper dive into what's called the visual and applied art. We have a large increase in terms of this sector, similar to what's happening across Canada, but also internationally. And it's seen strong growth from 2006 for the last 10 years, and it's been growing by 785 workers, or 48%. So it's the highest growth rate relative to all of Hamilton. So there's significant development in that area. Okay, about 8% of workers post-secondary education, and this is higher than the share for all other industries at 60%. Top talent, world-class institutions continue to grow with the sector, and they're really adaptable to changing programs and courses, again, collaborating with the employers to make modifications and what's needed in terms of the skill set for the existing or new labor force that's coming into that sector. And then we do have the advantage of growing top talent. Again, it's about 21 universities or colleges that have access to this region. And it's a driving force in terms of growth. And there's many innovative programs such as the McMaster Innovation Factory, and they actually help the digital media companies and the network grow from there. On slide 18, you'll see, obviously this kind of demonstrates how this cluster in particular has increased from 2006 to 2016. That's a good representation of how that's working. The slide 19 is just providing some of the logos of the companies that are working within the digital media sector. pretty significant in Hamilton in terms of, and I would certainly encourage you to Google Pipeline Studios and the types of productions that they produce. Very, very interesting in terms of the growth that they have made in Hamilton. And then there's something called the Soft Landing program that helps companies experience that kind of matches with people who are coming in new, with companies who have experience in Hamilton, so that you can learn from the local service providers on how to do business in Hamilton, Canada. Certainly myself and Carolyn, we're business development consultants, and what we do with businesses in these sectors is we help you navigate through the city processes. So we do that for anyone who wants to open or expand in Hamilton. So we realize that there's a lot of government processes that businesses would not be aware of, even those that are maybe they open a business in Canada and they've done it before. We recognize that each individual business is unique. So we help you through the process to better understand what are the timelines, what are the costs, and what are some of the questions that you might not know to ask that we know about the process. So that's our role here. And again, we connect you with a sales pipeline, supporting organizations, and as I mentioned, setting up an actual business in Hamilton, and then achieving that kind of larger success in terms of the North American marketplace. So that leads me to the last thing. I'm on slide 21. The last slide just has information about Carolyn and myself, and then the websites that I would definitely encourage everyone to check out. Our main website is inhamilton.ca, and that provides a lot of statistics and information of the city overall, some of which I've kind of presented here, but it gives you an opportunity to explore. And then our city, in terms of the municipality, in terms of some of the services that the city proper provides, is on the hamilton.ca. And then I would definitely encourage you to check out the tourismhamilton.com website. A lot of times, I know there's a study done by Pure Michigan that talks about visitation in the tourism as the front door for people who, once they kind of visit a city, they will definitely consider living, working, or opening a business. So definitely take a look at the tourismhamilton.com website in terms of also it will provide you quality of life information in terms of things to do, the culture. Yeah, so that's the present. I don't know if I went through it too quickly. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer those.
Thank you so much, Debbie, for your presentation. It was really helpful for us to understand about a little bit more about Hamilton. I just want to ask if you can, if you agree, if I can share your presentation with the exhibitors so they can have all your information and all the information about Hamilton.
For sure, yes, that would be great.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Right now, I cannot see any questions, but I have some. I will connect you directly with the exhibitor so you can answer directly their question.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you so much, Debbie, and have a great day.
You too. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Enrique, can you hear me? I think you are in mute, Enrique. You are muted. Can you hear me? Okay, let me tell you